Put a little bit of the rub, nigga, I gotta be safe.
Let's get to the sports talk.
Who likes the new NBA Coaches Challenge?
Nobody likes it. There's a little bit of toleration being put up. There's a little bit of hatred that's coming out with it. You know, I think one thing that's difficult for the coaches to understand is when you review something, what can you review? What if you're looking at a shooting foul and you see an offensive foul just before the shooting foul? Just the other day we saw with D'Antoni, he was told he couldn't review something because of a 30-second rule that he had.
That's confusing because, as you see right now, James Harden dunked. It went in, it came out. He already made it. Why can't the coach review that? That's a point off the board. Because y'all say he missed it and say he can't review it, 30-second rule. That don't make sense. That's why the coaches are confused. What can they challenge? Because right there it shows that he made it, but they say he couldn't challenge it because it's a 30-second rule.
To challenge it, but he wasn't sure what he needed to challenge until the 30 seconds were up. The complexity of what they can challenge and when they can challenge it is an issue. The strategy of whether to challenge or not is an issue because it costs you a timeout whether you win it or lose it, and some coaches think the timeouts are so valuable late in games. And then coaches have also complained about how it slows the game down. But when you talk to the league about it, they'll say what LeBron said is not true.
It do slows the game down because mostly everything get reviewed because someone don't like it and want to start doing this with their finger because they want to challenge everything. It does slow the game down. It slows other team momentum down because they had to wait until they challenge. Then it takes so long to get the call right. And then some of the referees don't like to be wrong.
He said the referees don't change their rulings. They're actually changing them about 45% of the time. Will, we heard for the last couple of years the coaches complain about those last 2-minute reports about how, well, it does no good to admit you made a mistake if you can't change it. The league says, hey, this is where you can change it. This is us getting stuff right. 45% of the time they're changing it. And then most importantly, the people who say that it's slowing down, the league says, listen, it's not taking any longer than any other replay review. And if we've heard any feedback from coaches, it's I should get a second challenge if I win the first challenge. So how can they complain about it slowing down? So I think what we have right now is a lot of frustration on a complex system, but I think we have a system based on my discussions with the league that is not going away.
Yeah, you know, in your article with Tim Bontemps, which is excellent, by the way, you lay out the successful challenges have come on non-judgment calls, right? Goaltending, out of bounds plays. It's the personal fouls, shooting fouls, offensive fouls that are harder for coaches to get their arms around. And Brian, I gotta be honest, it
is harder because when players see something they don't like and they feel like it should be their basketball or a basketball or a goaltend, they gonna want to challenge it. That's why some coaches don't be knowing half the time. Then they players be wanting to slow the game down and see if they deserve the ball. If the ball goes what they need and they miss it, they gonna want to challenge it.
Makes me think of pass interference in the NFL. But you bring up the stat. 45% of NBA coaches' challenges are won. That's way higher than what's going on in the NFL. So it leads me to this. Why are they so upset?
This is what's so strange about it. We talked to Kenny Atkinson of the Nets. Kenny Atkinson has the best record in coaches' challenges. In fact, he won his first 5, and he said if he had to choose right now, he'd get rid of it. This is a guy that is helping. So it's difficult. I really do think part of this comes down to strategy. Because
plays like that Lakers game against the Pelicans, 2 plays that should have been a Lakers ball. Even though the Lakers still end up winning it, Caldwell Pope ain't fouling. He just went straight up, ain't touched the elbow. They did this, went over and said he fouled him. The referees don't want to be wrong. Then the other one, Brandon Ingram, the basketball went off his knee. They did the same thing. They said it's still the Pelican ball. They don't want to be wrong, but sometimes they are wrong.
coaches are having meetings with their analytic folks that are being told that if you take 2 points off the board or add 2 points to the score, whether it's in the first quarter or the fourth quarter, it makes a big difference and you have to win. They've got star players who say it helps me if you react by challenging something where I think I'm being wronged. And then you have the reality that if you win a coach's challenge, and this is something that I think people seem to forget, it only means in some cases you get a jump ball. You don't necessarily are guaranteed possession, which makes it difficult to weigh how important it is to challenge when you're not assured of getting the possession if you win. So some of this is just the league admitting that or realizing that they're going to have to make tweaks to this, and that's something that we're all seeing play out in front of us.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, highlights, and analysis,